Good morning, children. Welcome to your biology class. Today, I am going to take a new chapter, chapter number 15, Our Environment. We have heard the word environment often being used on television, in newspapers, or by the people around us, isn't it? So, actually, what is the meaning of the word environment? Do you know? Yes. Environment means the conditions or the surroundings in which a plant, an animal, or a person lives. Simply we can say that whatever present in our surrounding, that makes our environment. But natural environment is disturbed or interrupted by human activities. Uncontrolled human activities will be causing the production of waste in environment. We can classify these waste materials into two types. They are biodegradable waste and non-biodegradable waste. So let us discuss about these waste materials now.
The first type of waste are biodegradable waste. The substances which are broken down into simpler harmless substances by the action of microorganisms in due course of time are called biodegradable substances. Biodegradable means they can be easily break down into simpler harmless substances. Okay, can you say some examples for that? Yes, paper, wood, cattle dung, leather, etc. They actually add nutritional value of the soil, but also they causes some problems. The decomposition of these waste materials will produce foul smell, and they will produce gases like methane, ammonia and carbon dioxide, and it leads to the global warming. And the waste materials also serve as the breeding ground for the flies and mosquitoes, which are the carriers of various diseases. The second type is non-biodegradable waste. Non-biodegradable means it's just opposite to what? Biodegradable, isn't it? So these are the substances which cannot be broken into harmless substances in nature. Can you say any examples for such waste materials? Yes, plastics, glass, DDT are some of the examples of such waste materials. They simply persist in the environment for a long time. Persist in the sense it remains for long time or may harm the various members of the ecosystem. Okay, so they will cause pollution. Pollution means all types of pollution, land pollution, air pollution, then water pollution, etc.
So that's all about the waste materials. Now let's discuss about another term, ecosystem. We know that our environment includes living things as well as non-living things. All organisms such as plants, animals, microorganisms and human beings interact with each other. That means the living things interact with each other. And also these living things interact with the non-living constituents of the environment. We can call these living things as biotic components and the non-living things as abiotic components. Can you say any examples for these biotic components? Yes, plants, animals, microorganisms, etc. Isn't it? Then, what about abiotic components? Abiotic components includes the non-living things such as water, soil, temperature, then sunlight, humidity and many more. Thus, the interaction of these biotic components with the abiotic components makes an ecosystem possible. An ecosystem may be terrestrial, like deserts, forests, grasslands, etc. It may also be aquatic, like sea, pond, lakes, etc. So these are all natural ecosystems. These are already present in nature, isn't it? So can you see an example for artificial ecosystem? If your answer is no, look at the picture.
Artificial ecosystem means a man-made ecosystem. Garden, crop field and aquarium are the examples of artificial ecosystem. If you visit a garden, you will find different plants such as grasses, trees, flower-bearing plants like rose, jasmine, sunflower, and animals like frogs, insects, and birds. All these living organisms interact with each other, and their growth, reproduction, and other activities are affected by the abiotic components of the ecosystem. So, a garden is an ecosystem.
Classify these biotic components, that is living things, into three categories. They are producers, consumers and decomposers. What are producers? That you already studied in your earlier classes. Producers are the green plants which can prepare their own food material by taking the raw materials from the environment. Isn't it? They use the sunlight, carbon dioxide, water, etc. And what is that process called? Photosynthesis. Okay. Then the next type is consumers. Consumers are the heterotrophs. Okay. What does mean by heterotroph? Heterotrophs are the animals which directly or indirectly depend on the producers for the food material, because they can't make their own food, isn't it? So we can again classify the consumers into three types: primary consumers, secondary consumers and tertiary consumers. The first one is primary consumers. Primary consumers are actually herbivores. They directly eat the green plants. Green plants are their food. So they are called as primary consumers. Then what may be secondary consumers? Yes, secondary consumers are carnivores. They are small carnivores. Okay. Then what is tertiary consumers? They are large carnivores. Okay. Then the last type is decomposers. Decomposers, they are the microorganisms which help to decompose the waste materials or the dead or decayed materials of the environment. They are called as the decomposers. Okay. Dear children, please read page numbers 256, 257 and 258 today itself. I hope you completed your studies and notes of the last chapter. Okay, so I attached YouTube URL to watch the animation of the topic. I also attached the notes and test questions. Download the notes and learn. Attend the test questions. See you next class with another topic. Till then, bye.